Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them, and I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Image fan site. I almost said Marvel. That I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. So, a hidden gem. And I hope that this video does better. I quit doing a couple of books that I was doing because just wasn't getting any play. So I figured most people weren't interested. So I'm gonna try something newer by one of my favorite artists, Todd McFarlane, and we're looking at Haunt #1. Now I'm showing you this. I'm not gonna actually use this is a low res file, but so that you can see the nice um oh my god, the title of the way the book was shown. This is what the comic book would have looked like here. It's sort of like Spawn meets Spider-Man. I guess it's the best way to describe it. Beautiful cover by Todd McFarlane here. You can't help but see Spider-Man the way he's having all of this kind of put in there. So the logo was the word, so you can see the logo because the version I'm gonna use is a better resolution and doesn't have the um but doesn't have the logo here, but you can definitely see much better every one of these beautiful lines here. So Haunt was a new character, a new concept. Robert Kirkman is the writer, co-creator of Haunt. And I actually have the trade, and I do have the single issues as well, but the I mostly use the trade. I really don't even know where the single issues are. Um, I just have too much stuff. But anyway, Haunt #1 here. So let's get started here. So, all right, we start out with a priest here or a minister, and he's got this a lady here. She says, what are you doing?" And he says, "Leaving, unless you're willing to give me a freebie." Oh my God. And by the way, the pencils are by Ryan Ottley. So um, I see you far too often for that, Daniel. I don't want you getting any ideas. So Todd McFarlane is inking, Ryan Ottley pencils, and Robert Kirkman is the writer. The credits were normally in the inside cover. And so she says, "We on for Thursday usual time?" And he says, "I don't know. I'll call you." So he walks out, and it's actually quite a thing when you go see that he's a minister. So Robert Kirkman is definitely doing something. Him and McFarlane are definitely about to step on some toes here. So he takes a swig of his cigarette. You can see him taking it out the whole time, nothing's showing, and then they give the big reveal. This is actually like, because you kind of go, ministers normally don't behave like this. So out he goes, and so he sighs here as he goes into the church. We don't know where we are. We can see cathedrals like this are pretty big, so we have to assume New York, most likely. And so this guy goes to him and says, "You're late again." And he goes, "Screw you, Kurt. I'm here now. Let's go." So, yeah, not your average minister, priest. So, priest, because he's doing a confession here. And Kurt says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been." And the minister, around the priest, he just goes, "Cut the shit, Kurt. Just tell me what you did. I don't need all the pretense. Let's just get this over with." So, the priest is, ooh, he is not having it. So, and so he says, "Don't do this. Not now. It doesn't feel like it's real when you do this." real quick, I love the this is pencils, I think, or charcoals being done right there. I really like that. And so he says, Kurt continues, "Can't we just do this right?" And the priest is like, "Fine, whatever." And so they're in the confessional here. "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Has been 3 weeks since my last confession." He says, "Okay, how many men have you killed this time?" He says here. Again, look at the pencils. This is just beautifully done. This series is it was hit and miss. It ended up Robert Kirkman wrote this series till issue about 18, and then Joe Casey took over after that. But then it ended up getting canceled. So, but it's pretty cool. So now we are somewhere else, and so we hear this gentleman here. He says, "I woke up inside a body bag. I didn't know where I was, but I knew I wasn't. That wasn't where I was supposed to be." And so here we go. Just so cool. McFarlane, Ryan Ottley, Todd McFarlane. Oh my gosh, this just hits all the right buttons. So here he is cutting himself out with a knife, and he says something's wrong, and someone says, "What is it?" And he says here, "I'm outside. They should have brought the bodies inside where the testing is done. This isn't right." And so he goes, "I'm in some kind of mass grave." And so whoever he's on the line with says, "Hold your position while we report in." And so look at this. This is just so freaking awesome. I just can't help it. It's just awesome. I'm a huge McFarlane guy, so it's just right up my alley. And so he says here, "No time. If we're going to make this extraction, it has to be now. The target is too important. I'll report when I've made contact." So wherever he is, he's in a facility. We see a lot of plants. So I take it he's in South America here. And so he chokes this guy here. And suddenly they know, "Alert, perimeter breach in Sector 4. And he's like, "God damn it." And look at that. And so this guy shoots, and he kind of jumps out of the way and just blasts this guy instead. That's pretty cool there. And so, "Kurt, what are we hearing?" And so, "I've got it, ugly, but I've got it under control." Sorry, I should have I'm just looking at the art here. Just so cool. So, I think Ryan Ottley was doing this at the same time as he was doing Invincible, but I think these are mostly they are I think they're very loose pencils, more likely layouts here. So, and so Kurt says, "Hostiles are down. I think I've neutralized all perimeter guards. I've acquired a key card. It's not pretty, but I'm on my way." So, all right, he gets in. He's in here, and you can see some of those rats. And Kurt says, "Tell me what you're seeing here, boys. I'm flying blind here." And from inside the comm, they're like, "Pray he's at the checkpoint, Kilgore. Infrared shows 2 more squads headed your way. You've got minutes at best." And he says, "I'll make it. He's here." And he says, "Dr. Schillinger, we need to move now." And he says, "You're the American. Come, they will notice I am gone soon. We will make a stop, but I must retrieve my subject. I can't leave without him." And he says, "Hurry." And the doctor says, "He's responded to the treatment better than any other. To lose him would set my research back years." And he says, "How big is the body? It can't slow us down too much," he says. And he walks in. "Body, I haven't worked on a cadaver for months. He's a very small. I believe his youth made him more receptive to my treatments." And you can see here what he's been doing. And he's been creating these monsters, and Kurt is like, oh my god. And the doctor says, amazing, isn't it? Just look at all I've accomplished, and just the horror, and you can just see the horror in his eyes here. And he's like, what's the matter? Are you suddenly blam? And he shoots the guy himself. Kurt, what's going on? Was that a gunshot? Do you still have Schillinger? He says, he's dead. Kurt, are you crazy? We need that guy. We've got a lot riding on him. Admin will have your ass for this. And Kurt says, they don't know what he was doing. They'll understand when they do. No, they won't. They knew what he was doing. Real quick, the very famous McFarlane silhouettes. That is a staple of his. And Kurt says, follow me. And so, leaving the doctor dead, he goes and takes everybody. However, he leaves, you see this little thing here. So, someone's going to come through and grab it and get out. Very nicely done. He's going to take everybody out, and he throws a grenade, explodes, and off he goes. Look at this level of cool. Oh my goodness gracious. And so Kurt's confessing to the priest, and he says, we do this a lot. I go on a mission. I know I'm doing good, but it just doesn't feel right, says Kurt. This time it felt right. I saved those peoples. The soldiers, they were just taking orders that I feel guilty about. Always will. And so some vertical panels here. And so the priest says, what do you want from me here? I could tell you to repent, but really, what's the point? I've heard your confessions. Are we done yet? And so he leaves. We can be. And he says, hallelujah. He is not very nice. And so he says, what's gone into you lately? You okay? Mom's been worried. You should call her. So they're brothers, these two. And so the priest says, that in there I do so that some other poor priest doesn't have to carry the burden of my brother's sins. Outside of there, you don't exist. You're dead to me. So, not very forgiving. So he's walking away, son of a, and so he looks like he's gonna pull something. Suddenly, the lady in front hits him with the syringe and says, "Get him inside." So they're taking him. Suddenly, there's all this blood. You can see tooth being taken out, and they're like, "Damn it, man! Do you think this is fun for me? Give me a break and just tell me where the goddamn notebook is. Talk." And he keeps saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Of course, that other woman took it with her, and he goes, "God damn it, Kilgore! You know how this ends. Don't let it come to that. She'll never let his notebook leave his side. You killed him. Now it's gone. Where did you hide it?" And so he says, "I don't know who hired you, but for this, Frank. But I can assure you, my people can do much better than you, and will after I bring you in. So have your fun while you still have hands." And so he leaves, and he says, "That's just rude, man." And so this lady says, "What's taking so long?" She's looking at her phone. And he says, "He's not giving me a damn thing." Claims he doesn't know anything. "Numb him from the waist down. Cut off his penis and make him watch. If he doesn't tell you after that, he never will. So kill him." So, oh my goodness gracious. And so, we have a funeral of some kind, and so we imagine that it's the brother Kilgore here, and so it's raining there, and he's inside the limousine. "Just promise you'll go see her." And he says, I can't do that." "You have to. She could be in danger." So we're not showing who it is, and so Now we do here. I stopped caring about that woman a long time ago. Remember? You made sure of that. And so, um, it's his brother. So is he dead? So you have to go see Amanda. Whatever there is between us, over her or between you and her, I don't care. This is more important. So it's his wife or girlfriend that he wants him to see. The people who killed me, oh, he is dead, could come after me. Oh, could come after her. They're looking for something, something I don't have. If they think I had it, um, at one point, they'll go after my wife. You have to make sure Amanda is safe. And he says, I don't have to do a damn thing. So he's seeing dead people. There's the brother here. And so the priest says, this is all in my head. I'm telling myself to go see Amanda because deep down, that's what I want to do. She's not in danger. And also, you're not even here. You're dead. I'm losing my mind imagining this. I'm not going to say anything to you. And so, the brother continues here. You have to go see her. She's scared. Mom's leaving tonight to go back home. Amanda will be all alone. Just do it for her. And you see the McFarlane knows. Even though Ryan Ottley, like I said, is doing the layouts, McFarlane is a very powerful inker here. So he just says, oh, fine, okay, stop talking to me. Mom's coming. I don't want to scare her. So here comes the mom. And so we got a nice vertical panel here. And so he goes see Amanda. She invites him in. They sit down. So it looks like he had feelings for her. I haven't read this book in a long, long time. So I sort of am reading it for the first time. Probably since not probably '09. I probably reread it again, but haven't read it in forever. So you'll have to excuse me here if I am as surprised as you, because I really don't remember much. So it's probably been at least, goodness gracious, at least 10 years since I read this. So, all right. And so she apologizes. He's like, no, you don't have to drink coffee, just a bunch of quietness. And so he's gonna leave, and finally she's like, don't leave. And she's like, says she's been taking pills, she can't sleep. And so she goes, I can't be alone tonight, please. I know you hate me, but please. So, and so he's sleeping on the couch, and Kurt wakes him up. He says, what do you want? He says, you need to get Amanda out of here right now. And he's like, why? And he goes, screw you. You're not here. I'm imagining you because some idiotic piece of me misses you. He says, shh. And then people walk in, and he's like, uh-oh. And so they see him. He's like, get out. I'm calling the police. And he's like, shoot him with pleasure. And so they're about to, but you see that Kurt is kind of going in there, and as they shoot, the two of them kind of merge. And we see here why it's called Haunt, because the two of them, I love this part. Love this. This is just incredible art. Ryan Ottley, he's so popular, and he's so good. And McFarlane, this book just hits in every level. And we get Haunt here. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is so freaking cool. And they shoot, and oh my god, this is just so awesome. He's coming here, he gets rid of them. Oh my god, look at their heads kind of going out. And so we get to the last page. Kurt, and he's like, yeah, I'm here. So maybe I'm not crazy. This is kind of like Firestorm in a way. So the way I remember him, I forgot that he merged with the brother. I don't know why, but okay. So there we go. And look at this blood. And oh my goodness, this is so freaking cool. So Haunt number 1. Robert Kirkman writes. Ryan Ottley, I think I think he's credited as layouts, and then Todd McFarlane plot and inks, I believe, is if I remember correctly. But it really doesn't matter because this book really is pretty good. So find a way to get your hands on this book. Um, it's just so beautiful to look at, and yeah, I'm glad I started doing this. I hope you guys like this video. I hope it's something that interests you, and I hope that it gets a little bit of views because some of those other videos just weren't getting anything. So like and subscribe, and I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.